Go ahead and put a link. I'm gonna go. Wait, let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link to it right down below in the description box. But basically, if you haven't heard, ticket sales for Mayweather versus McGregor is not going well, or are they? Now, you have tickets, and it says there's only 2 of them. This is according to StubHub. 150,000 each for the highest ticket. And the lowest ticket, which is going to be in the nosebleeds, is going to cost you, let me see, what section is that? Deep in the nosebleeds, deep in the nosebleeds, will cost you $1,800. You see what I'm saying? So, looking, there's a lot of tickets available, you know, when you start getting, you know, closer to the ring. You know, the upper deck ones, I mean, I'm thinking this way. The event is going to sell out. You're going to have casual rich people buying these tickets. You're going to have good walk-up sales for like Vegas, like, oh, Conor McGregor, that guy from the UFC, Mayweather's fighting. Let's go get a ticket. 16,000, so what? We got it. It's going to be a lot of casual fans. So people are like, well, you know, here's what fans are saying. You know, this is just a survey of what I've been getting from fans off the internet. They're saying, well, why people are going to spend all this money for tickets when they know what the outcome is going to be? Floyd Mayweather is supposed to win. Why are they going to spend all? Why are people going to spend all that money? Why, you know, are these tickets so expensive in the first place? You know, like the UFC fans, of course, you want them to buy the fight, to be at the fight. That's where majority of the pay-per-view sales are going to come from. But also, what kind of gate records are they trying to break? And how many rich Irish fans are going to really go to this event to support Conor McGregor? I mean, there's just so many questions. So it's like this. I feel that maybe, you know, somebody did point out that this could be like them testing like the market. But go look at it yourself. I don't know if you can see it's clear. I'm looking at it on desktop, obviously. I don't know if you can see it as clear on, you know, will you be able to see this clear on mobile? But I'm going to post a link to what I'm looking at right now below in the description box. Now, let me go to the official T-Mobile Arena website and see what they're selling for, because StubHub, you know, is not the official source for the tickets. So another thing is with the pay-per-view. You know, Mayweather is predicting, you know, that he's going to make about $300 million or so. In order for him to make about $300 million or so, the pay-per-view has to exceed or get close to Mayweather-Pacquiao numbers, even though the price is the same as far as $99.99 for $100 for HD. You're not going to be watching this standard definition unless you're living in the fucking Stone Age and using a fucking, what is it, a coaxial cable or whatever that shit's called. You know, the little screw piece you put into the back of your fucking TV, audio video cables and shit. So, I look at it like this, right? McGregor brings in 1.5 million pay-per-view buys on his own. But you put those two names together, it's like this. If this pay-per-view does 2.5 million pay-per-view buys, I'm like, oh shit, that's a real success. If it does 3 million, I'm like, oh shit, people really broke this. But you know, 4.4 million, you know, that's a stretch, because the hardcore fans are turned off. Mayweather versus Pacquiao was a success, even though in hindsight you may say, man, I shouldn't have broke that shit. It was some bullshit. But in hindsight, right, or at the time before they stepped into the ring, there was so much hype and build up around the fight that it brought the casual fans. Pacquiao has a strong American fan base, American Asian fan base. They all brought the fight. And of course, all the Mayweather haters and all that whole, you know, no, Mayweather just avoided him because, you know, he can beat him. All that, you know, the celebrities, casuals, everybody knew about that fight. Everybody knew about it. You know, Mayweather McGregor doesn't have that same appeal because of the turnoff of the hardcore fans. Yes, I do feel that the hardcore fans are full of shit to a certain extent, but they are going to buy the fight. There's going to be a lot of them that's going to be scrambling the day of the fight to go, you know, to go try to watch it with other people, compared to nights where it was nights where, you know, I had people was telling me, well, listen, I just stayed in the house with my girl and watched the fight. You know what I mean? And Mayweather Pacquiao. I don't think this type of fight will have that same effect. Why? Because I hate to say it, those people that, you know, spent, you know, those people that didn't watch the fight in bulk, as far as people who went to parties and cookouts to watch Mayweather Pacquiao, I don't think they're going to do that with McGregor. I think those people are going to be the ones they're going to try to stream. Now, understand that I'm sure that they're already doing their best to make sure that they got a team, a multi-million-dollar social media piracy company that's going to be, you know, on it as far as getting as much of that shit taken down as they can, but they can't get it all, and it's still going to affect buys because people are saying, fuck that, I'm so mad at this fight, I'm going to stream it just to piss them off, even though I can buy it. You know? And let's be honest, you know, people are saying it's a circus. See, me, I look at it like this, right? I look at it as far as, well, it is history about boxing versus the UFC. You know, even though I'm known to be very sarcastic and I'm known to troll, my job is to sell fights, to build interest, to get people, you know, upset and emotionally involved. I don't think that Conor McGregor has much of a chance, but I say, well, everybody's got a puncher's chance. Do I think that fight should be for Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 to break the Rocky Marciano record? Hell no. It's a travesty. Do I think it should be for a belt because the WBC's trying to find a way to get their sanctioning fee to get in on that money grab? Hell no. Should the fight have even been sanctioned when you have 49-0 versus a 0-0 fighter? He can get hurt. Hell no. What if this was like Brock Lesnar, you know, coming to fucking boxing versus Anthony Joshua? That shit shouldn't be sanctioned, but the money will get that shit sanctioned. But if these are lower level boxers that wasn't named Floyd Mayweather or an MMA fighter that wasn't named Conor McGregor, those fights would have a hard time getting sanctioned. You have a fighter Conor McGregor, who's learning the fundamentals of boxing, which is why he has Conor McGregor Joe Cortez in his camp to tell him, well, listen, when it comes to refereeing a boxing event, you can do this, you can't do that. You know, he's learning to be he's learning amateur boxing shit. So, the Paulie Malignaggi situation, I look at it like this. Yeah, I want to see the sparring footage, but that shit's never going to come out. Smart play by the UFC to do that shit. I mean, if I was Paulie, I don't know how you couldn't have seen that coming a little bit. I guess. I don't know, because you wouldn't think that they would try to play those type of tactics. But hey, remember, you may say that, you know, Mayweather and McGregor, they ain't cahoots on the money grab, but there's a bigger underlying story here of boxing versus the UFC. The UFC, Zuffa, whoever runs the UFC now, and Dana White, they really want Conor McGregor to win. They want that shit bad. For Conor McGregor to go back to the UFC and say that he conquered boxing and mixed martial arts, so there's a bigger, you know, storyline under all this that we got to explore more, you know, as we get closer to the fight. You know? So, Paulie feels like this, that he's being exploited, and he is, because they're releasing certain content, and you got Conor McGregor talking shit, making people think that he fucked Paulie Malignaggi up, but guess what? We don't know. All we got is these few images of them sparring. You know, Paulie, you know, one of them, he getting his face smashed in. Another one, they levitating and shit. You know, another one, Paulie on the canvas, and McGregor standing over looking at him. Joe Cortez looking like, no, Conor, don't fuck him up. You know? That's some smart fucking digital marketing mumbo jumbo shit starting shit right there. Because look, that's been the storyline of the week. Like, what happened in sparring? So now you got Paulie pissed off, like, damn, they used the shit out of me, having people think this motherfucking mixed martial artist fucked me up. Paulie like, yo, release the tapes. I want to see the footage. I'm sorry, I'm going with the photos. Conor was giving Paulie that work. I'm going with the photos. I'm going with the photos, man. I know you're gonna be mad. I'm going with the photos. Until I see the sparring footage, Conor McGregor don't have no reason to lie. He said he fucked him up. You know, he said, you know, like, yo, Paulie was talking, I'm paraphrasing. Paulie was, I mean, dramatizing a little bit. Paulie was talking that shit, you know, like last year about, you know, like how he can't beat him, you know, and all that shit. So Conor was like, yo, I want to spar with him. Bring him in. You know, McGregor gave him that work, sent him packing. I'm trolling a little bit. So what? So what? But yeah, you know, until we see the footage, we don't know. I mean, Paulie Malignaggi's credible as fuck. You know, Paulie Malignaggi's credible as fuck. You know, so he like, look, if you got any, you know, sense of goodwill in your body, Team UFC and Conor McGregor, release the tapes. The people want it. The people want the footage. We want the footage. And all that says teased the shit out of us last night. They teased us. They teased us to make us think that they was going to show us a little bit of what happened in sparring, and they tricked us. You scum. That was good. That was good television. How they faded to black. You would have to have seen the episode to understand. It's not on. Well, you can see it on the internet. It's not like GeoBlock. But they faded the black on us, man. They faded the black. But it is what it is. On T3 Controversy, this is T3 Controversy Live. Yeah, fight is now 21 days away. Exactly 2 more Saturdays from now. No, 3 including this one. Crazy, right? The money grab is here and it's upon us. We in the middle of that shit. Remember us having a media workout. Of course, Fight View 360 is going to be in the building along with Selfie Fights. I'm on my way to Vegas in a few weeks. You know, we're going to do what we got to do out there. It's going to be so hot. But on T3 Controversy, this is T3 Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.